at this cute little unicorn. He is almost finished. This guy took a lot of effort. So today our craft is zombies versus unicorn. Oh, the back is gorgeous, braided mane. So this actually took a lot of work to do, and we're going to tell you how to make this unicorn today. But first, we're going to show you how to make the zombie. So if you're a girl and want to do that unicorn later, pay attention because we're going to give you all the tricks as we do the zombie. If you're a manly man and want a manly craft, here's how to make your very own zombie. We're going to start with some white modeling clay. Now, what you can do is you can roll it on the table like you saw Turkey did. Push your finger into the middle to indent it. Take some green food coloring and put 1 drop in there. Now, you really can add way too much food coloring, and it's going to be very messy, so we recommend you add just 1 drop and then knead it inside your hands to mix the food coloring all throughout that modeling clay. And it's going to give you a great color, soft green, minty green, pastel. So the trick here is the smaller amount of food coloring that's added at this point will give you a softer, more pastel color green modeling clay to work with. If you would like it a shade or 2 darker, you may add 1 drop at a time. Remember, roll it into that ball, push a little indent, and just add your food coloring slowly 1 drop at a time. So once you have a green colored modeling clay, as Turkey did, roll it between your hands to form a ball. Very good. So now she's taking another lump of white modeling clay, and she is putting her indent in and adding this time 2 drops of red food coloring. Now this is going to be for the shirt, and she doesn't exactly want a pink shirt, she wants a red shirt. So to get that little bit of a darker color, she's going to add the 2 drops of the red. Pay attention, girls, because if you're going to be making that unicorn instead of this zombie, you're going to want to make sure you add just the minimal amounts of food coloring because you're going to be really going for that pastel look on that unicorn. So our red shirt, well, it still looks kind of pink, so she's going to make that indent, add another drop of red food coloring, and work it into the modeling clay. You can use some of her pulling with the fingers, pulling the clay and then smashing it. So she's using the palms of her hand, but also her fingers. And it's a pretty reasonable piece of modeling clay. It's not too hard to work with. Call the library for your free craft kit, and that will include some modeling clay, enough to either make your zombie or your unicorn. So right now she is working on that shirt still, and it looks like a little bit more, a new piece of clay, and she's adding some red food coloring. So I think we're going to do the sleeves separate from the chest part of the shirt. So she's got 1 piece of modeling clay for the shirt that fits over the body, and then she's working on 2 separate pieces for the sleeves, which will fit over the arms. And yes, you can see that there. 3 pieces of modeling clay, a big one for the body, and she's making that kind of into a body type shape. So it's not exactly a square, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. If you think Minecraft, like the Slitherers behind me, that's what we're going for, sort of this blocky zombie. So she's making the sleeves into smaller shapes and just attaching them to the body, which is very easy to do if you're working with this modeling clay, which is really nice to work with. So the right sleeve's on, we're going to the left sleeve, pinching it just a little bit to make sure we don't have any cracks. It's a uniform look to the object, which is a sleeve that we're going to put on the other side of that body there. Oh boy, that looks good. All right, zooming along. So we got the head, we got the body. Now we're going to need to put some arms on there. put some legs on there. And this is something you're going to need to do for the unicorn as well. So to get your zombie or your unicorn to hang together and stick together, our secret weapon is toothpicks. And so for this zombie, we got the head. We're putting the head, put the toothpick through the body, kind of screw that head on top. And if you need to reshape anything, feel free to do so at this point. Fantastic. So right now we are ready to move on to the next step. So taking one more toothpick and putting it into the arm, really put it up there. You don't want too much sticking out. And take another toothpick, you're gonna have to get both arms unless he's missing an arm. You never can tell what body part a zombie might be missing. Nope, looks like this guy's got both arms. Great. So shove the toothpick in the other side. And so now we're really stabilizing him. We've used 3 toothpicks so far. We've got the body, a red shirt, a green head, and now we're adding some more modeling clay. This time we're going to put some blue food coloring in the modeling clay. And I'm guessing this is going to be some blue jeans. Is that blue or green? It's green food coloring. My bad. So it looks like we're making the arms. And these arms you can roll between your hands or the palms of your hand. And once you get a cylindrical shape, slide it onto the toothpick and shape it over that. And voila! Zombie arm. That looks really good. Absolutely fantastic. So the zombie is going to be a little bit quicker and simpler to make than the unicorn. The unicorn is very complex because we're going through this process with 2 arms, but what we did for the pretty unicorn mane was she made these cylindrical shapes out of pastel colors, and she must have had several dozen, and she put them on one by one to form a beautiful tail, a beautiful mane, and we're going to show off that unicorn once we finish the zombie in just a bit. Right now she's still working on getting that other, oh wait, I think I see what, the toothpick is bone, so she has one arm and then the other arm. She's not putting all the modeling clay all up on the arm because this zombie lost his arm down to the bone. But I see he's still got his little hand peeking out there. Now we're over to the blue. So we're going to do the lower half of this zombie and then we're done. We're almost ready to move on to that unicorn. Putting the blue in, at this point, we're not really too interested in having pastel blue jeans on our zombies, so you could add a couple drops. It's just with the unicorn that you really want to be careful about putting those 1 drops in at a time because the unicorn has got to be pastel pretty. So with a couple of drops of blue, you're going to get a little bit darker shade, which is fine for blue jeans on our zombie. Red shirt, blue jeans, and once she's done with those, with that shape, she's going to put it on the table and kind of pat it down. And one tool that you may have at home or not is some sort of thing to cut with. So if you're working by yourself, maybe a plastic knife. If you have adult supervision, maybe something a little bit sharper. Don't cut all the way through. Start a little bit down, cut towards the bottom, and then you can separate those 2 chunks of clay and you got very nice pants. Very good. Now this is where the toothpick comes in again to keep everything held together. You want to use that last bit of showing toothpick underneath the shirt. Connect the pants. Reshape the body, pull apart the legs, and 2 more toothpicks. Yay! So 1 toothpick goes up the left leg, the other toothpick will go up that right leg. And in addition to holding him together, you're going to hold his shape a little bit better so that you can stand him up, you can pose him, it can be a little bit of an action figure. Now it looks like we're almost done here. And this is really coming together. This zombie is looking pretty good. I like the idea of showing through to the bone, the toothpick. That's creative. Grab some more modeling clay, add some more green, not too much, remember. You don't want parts of him looking light green and parts of him looking dark green, although with a zombie, that's perfectly fine. He may be a little gangrenous down in his feet or on his hands. So you really can't go wrong when you're working with modeling clay for zombies. Now, she's making 2 feet to stick on the end of the pants. And, you know, this craft for teens this week is really something that you can take so much time doing. And while we're going to whip through the zombie in another 2 minutes, we'll be done with him. At home, you can take as much time as you want. You are not limited by time at home or by number of colors. So you can really go all out. I love this foot. It's squarish, I think. It looks like it might have a little bit of shape. Oh yeah, are those Air Jordans? That would be funny if you found lime green or kiwi color. I don't think we sell those in Swainsboro. You'll have to go check Hibbett's. All right, push that toothpick up a little bit. Don't want too much pushing down in that shoe. And are we done? No, one more step, googly eyes. So we love our googly eyes here at the library. We can include that in your free craft kit. For this zombie, we chose a big eye and a small eye. To give it a little bit of a crazy look. Perfect. Perfect. Zombie is done. All right. That's a great zombie. Now you can pose him, but remember, he's got toothpicks inside of him, not actual bones, so don't try to put him in too many weird positions. And if you have something with a point on it, you can draw a jag through his face, which is where, you know, his mouth would be. And if you wanted to open it up a little bit with your fingers, you can give him kind of a little bit of a frog face. We're not going to bother with a nose. Zombies don't really have noses. But if you wanted to make his face just a little bit more realistic, go ahead and shape it and make it fun. All right, we done with our zombie? Fantastic. Now, girls, time for this pastel, pretty and pink unicorn. So as you can see, we are almost finished with this guy. We did him very much the same way we did the zombie, but instead of coloring all the clay for this guy, we left his body white. Now what we would like to do is paint the hooves a pretty color. So this unicorn we put together in much the same way as the zombie, meaning there is a toothpick inside this guy. Now we only used 1 toothpick. You can use 1 or 2 depending upon how big you make your unicorn. And I bet you can guess that the toothpick we used is basically used to connect the head to the body and keep him upright from drooping too much. So we started off with a round head and a round body. We put the toothpick in, attached the head, and then we made some legs, front legs, which we're drawing, painting a nice, beautiful, purplish, silvery, metallic hooves onto this unicorn. And what really took hours and hours and hours, and you can see in the camera right now, is the modeling clay for the hair, the mane, the tail. And basically you saw the process when she did the zombie. She took a lump of modeling clay. She added just 1 drop of red to make that pretty pink Add 1 drop of blue to get a nice pastel blue, 1 drop of yellow to get the pastel yellow, and then rubbing the clay between her hands, she could make individual strands. Another idea that she used is she pounded it flat into a pancake, and then taking her sharp edge, she cut the pancake into strips and pried those off and used those to make strips. So you can be creative and use both those ways to do your pastel strips. Once you have your strips, it looks like she used at least 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd say just for your tail, use about 5, give or take 1 or 2, and twist them together to make your tail and attach that to the bottom. For your mane, you're really going to do 1 strip at a time around the head till you have the head covered. And what she did is she went into a braid. Once she had the head covered in the back, she went into a braid. Now she also put a little bit of paint on the nose. She used a little bit of pink paint on the nose, and she made some ears. One other thing she did in addition to the ears is she took a seashell, and yes, we will include a trumpet seashell in your free kit if you wanted to do the unicorn, and you can paint that seashell pastel colors and put that on the head between the ears. I think the last step we're going to do is our eyes. Now we're not going to googly eye this guy. Yes, he gets the googly eyes, but they're both the same size because this is a classy unicorn. One last thing I want to mention before we go, the Teen Pick Book of the Week is Zombies versus Unicorns, and this will be on our shelves when we open again to the public soon. And basically it's written by 2 authors, and they asked, are you Team Zombie or are you Team Unicorn? Wow, this guy's fantastic. Turkey, you did a good job. Do you want to twirl that unicorn around so people can see the beautiful mane in the background? Oh, keep going. Yes, so she brings the mane down, braids it. The tail's just twisted. Wonderful. All right, let's take a good look at both those guys. Zombies versus unicorns. Great job. Thanks for joining us here at the library for our last teen craft of the summer. We hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing you in our library soon. Let's check in with Turkey. Our teen craft today is zombies versus unicorns. And right now she is gently shaping a unicorn body. You can see the head up there in the upper screen. If you've got a ball, shape it into kind of a weight shape, a pendulum, a bell, and take a toothpick and insert it into the top. Now this is going to be the body of our unicorn. Next she'll take the sphere that she shaped into a ball with her palms, and she's going to join that to the body, and the toothpick is going to act to stabilize the head on the body and keep it from tipping over. So we've got that wide base, and we're going to take our 2 front legs, which are shorter than the ones in the back, because we don't need to wrap around, and work your finger to attach the top of the front leg to the right side of the unicorn body. Next, take the second leg, flatten the top a little bit. You know, these legs were just made from taking a small piece of modeling clay and working it in the hand, and then finish attaching that other leg up there into the body. Very good. So now we have something that's coming together. The 2 legs are joined to the body, the head's on. Now the back legs are also made from rolling out the modeling clay, and they're a little bit longer because we need to attach them to the back side of the body and bring them around, wrap around the base of the body so that you can see them up front. Now they're not quite touching the front legs. There is some separation between where the front legs come out down in the front and the back feet wrap around. Once you get that first leg attached using your fingers just like you did the other legs, move to the last fourth leg on the other side of the body and make sure they curve around. They should both be, you know, about the same distance. Everything is matching side to side. And right now, she's just making sure that her hooves are nice and straight. So if you want to reshape some of your pieces after you get them put on, that's absolutely fantastic. And next step, this unicorn, what else does it need? How about ears? So using a piece of clay, you can flatten it out a little bit and then make it into kind of a pinch one of the ends so it's a little bit ear shaped. And if you have one color modeling clay, that's fine. If you have food coloring at home and want to make different colors, you can add a little bit of a red food coloring, just a tiny bit to get that pink, and make a little tiny circle and flatten that into the ear. And that'll give you a lovely ear. Using the point at the top, attach the ear to the head so that the flat piece gives you a big solid space to pat down into that head. And make sure that pink part stays on. Very good. You want to do the same thing on the other side of the head with the other ear. And again, the point is sticking up into the air. The ears are pointed up into the air, and the big flat surfaces are really where we push it down and mold it into the molding clay, which is the circular head. So very good. That is looking fantastic. It is coming together as a unicorn. What else does a unicorn have? It's got the horns, so we're going to take a seashell. This is a trumpet shell, and we painted it a color, but if you don't want to paint it, it's perfectly fine to take that seashell, which comes in your free craft kit, and just work it down into the head. Don't push it in too far because we want this unicorn to have that big, beautiful horn pushing up, but do securely attach it inside the head. And then remember, as you're working with your unicorn, if things get bent or touched out of shape, just gently reshape it at each step. Next, what does a unicorn have? A beautiful flowy mane and tail. So we here at the library had different color food coloring, so we did some blue, some yellow, some pink. Well, it was actually red, but adding just a light amount of food coloring will give you those pastel colors. If you want to smash your clay down, you can slice up some long, thin ribbon pieces, or you can cut them out. And then you saw how she put 3 of them together, and then she twisted them to make the tail, and then she attached that to the back of the unicorn. Very good. That's looking fantastic. Now you can take shorter amount of time on this or longer amount of time by using maybe one color would take a less amount of time. Maybe you are getting crazy at home and you want to use 8 different colors or 7 colors of the rainbow. This is an opportunity to personalize your craft, and we encourage you to get creative and enjoy the experience at home. So could we move the giraffe up a little bit? To your right, to your right. Yay! So look at that beautiful tail. That is awesome. And all she did there was take her 3 different colored strands, twist them together, and then she did a little bit of detail work on the end using a knife. You can cut into the end pieces and fiddle with them to make it look like that tail's flowing in the wind. So now let's do something else. Let's take our 3 pieces, roll them up, pinch the ends of the 3 pieces together, and we're going to use a braid. So to take the braid, you all have 3 strands. You always work the outside strand over the inside strand. So the yellow goes over the pink. Then the blue will go over the yellow. And really take your time and readjust the strands and make sure that it's looking beautiful step by step. So that is a beautiful braid. Once you get to the end there, smash it down to secure the modeling clay. And, oh, we lost the camera. What happened? Turkey, come back. There you are. Okay, she's back. All right, so she's got her scissors and she's fraying the end. That's beautiful. I can see that very clearly. So 1, 2, 3, 4 blues, 4 yellows, 4 pinks. That's a really creative way to tip off the mane. So once you get that beautiful braid, push it down on top of the horn. That'll not only anchor it, but it really is nice to have a little bit of mane flowing around that horn. So it just makes it look awesome. And I love the camera angle right here because you can see how the tail comes around the body at the bottom, and we've got our frayed ends tipping out. Fantastic, very good. So we have done most of the mane, but we can make it better. So if you're watching at home, you can either roll your piece between your hands or put it down on a flat surface and roll it back and forth till you get something really nice and long. And then again, if you want to work with more than one color, that's fine. Here we're taking a blue to add next to our pink, and then we're going to do a yellow on the other side of the pink. So now we're going to smush using a finger, not too hard, just lightly smush it down so that we've got our 3 separate strands kind of smashed into one. Fantastic. Okay, taking a sharp edge, cut it in half, and we're going to secure 1/2 around the left ear from the horn. Bring it around the ear. So it's anchored around the horn, just like the first piece was, and then brought around the ear, underneath the ear, tucked behind. And we're similarly going to do that for the other piece. And for our colors here at the library, we're going to make sure the blue is on the outside. So blue is outside over here, blue is on the outside over here, and the piece anchored on the horn comes down below the unicorn's ear and tucked into the back of the head. And this is a really easy way to quickly get a glorious mane on your unicorn. Feel free to spend a little bit more time if you want. One thing we did here at the library is we made sure that the pink was in the middle so that the yellow would complement the pink inside the inner part of the ear. If you have any other head still showing where you feel like mane should be, repeat the process with excess strips of rainbow and cover up the backs of the heads where the mane should be. And if you need to make a little bit more of rainbow, just take your colors that you are working with at home, roll them across the table to make those circular, tubular shapes. Now we're doing the last color. Very good. Now we're taking our fingers and we're pressing it down. So we have a rainbow mat instead of individual stripes. Now cut out the size of pieces you'll need and attach to the head. Very Very good. Using your fingers to mold to the head, you can pull and push the rainbow slices to cover what you want and not much more. Fantastic. Oh, so pretty. Well done. Our unicorn is looking beautiful. Now, if you had a small piece of clay to make the nose, you could start off rubbing that between your hands, flatten it with your fingers, and then take something small and make 2 little nostril imprints. Fashion that to the front of the unicorn's face. And what we're going to do here at the library, because we have paint, we're going to take a medium-sized soft brush and we are going to paint just the nostril part that we just attached a light pink. This is optional. You can choose a different color at home. Fantastic. All right, taking a toothpick, about where you feel the hoof should end, we're going to go with about less than a finger length on all 4 feet. Make a little bit of a line so that the eye has something to focus on to say, that's clearly the hoof. And here at the library, we're not going to leave it just like that. We have a fun color to put on the hooves. We are going to paint the hooves kind of a grayish or dark purplish metallic magical color for our unicorn. Oh, that looks very good. I like that. It's very realistic, but also fun, and it makes it pop. Another useful thing about that line that we drew with our toothpick is now we can stay in the line. So you have a visual marking of where to paint and where not to paint. Try not to hit the body. That's looking fantastic. Very good. So we're finishing up painting those hooves right now. And we're on the 3rd hoof with a nice dark color like this. We don't have to put on too much paint. I'm thinking maybe just 1 coat will be enough for these hooves. Sometimes the paint is a little thin, a little runny. Maybe you want a little darker looking feel, you put a lot on, but this is holding together pretty well. We might only need this 1 coat. Fantastic. How are y'all coming at home? Good job. We're almost done. But one thing we could do to make it fun, and we'll try and include some of these in your free library craft kit, are some eyes. The type we have, you peel off the back, and then you just, well, we're working with modeling clay, so you could even just leave that back on and just stick it in there and it'll stay pretty fine. Then do that other eye. Both of these are the same size because we want our little unicorn to look cute and adorable. And I lost you again. There you are. All right. Can we move them a little bit to your right to show them off? Oh, so cute. Take a turn. Yeah. All right. So you see the easy way to twist that tail, to braid that mane, to cover the head with rainbow stripes. And all we started with was a couple shapes of modeling clay, added some color, a seashell, some eyes, painted the hooves, put on the nose, and there we go. You looking great, baby. All right, turkey. You can give me a thumbs up